Hello, RC here. This is turn 16, January 1944. My March solo game here. It's been chugging along. So some interesting things have developed. Thanks, Trig. That's a good point. And I did look that up. Yes, I can rearrange them any way I want to. I figured I'd just leave it like this, put a couple guys over there, and the fleet there for Spain. There we go. I had a correction last turn. This Vichy fleet that's right here, the battleship, the light cruiser, the submarine, and the transport brought these two infantry through the Suez Canal, which is British controlled, down to here. Now, and I put the guys here, I had parked here. The British technically can do that, but why in the heck would the British ever do that? The Vichy are technically at war with the British allies, the Free French. So you wouldn't allow that. So at least, no, I wouldn't allow that. So as a result, I moved them back to here and decided to move them here instead. So that's what's happened there. So if you're wondering what's going on, the reason for this marker here in the boats is to separate them from the Spanish boats over there, which also have a marker on them. There we go. So that's a correction from that. What else happened with Vichy? Well, Germany lend-leased them an infantry. I can't remember everything that Germany built or did. I'm just going to go over the highlights of this. So on the German turn, last turn, they built quite a bit of navy. And that was in response to the large British and American fleets that were starting to get together here and build lots of transports. So that fleet came out here and along with a whole pile of planes attacked the British and American combined fleet. Was successful. I had 2 damaged battleships left. And then the British fleet from Gibraltar, which is what you see here, came up and annihilated the remainder of the German fleet. There was only one reason for this, and that was to eliminate these transports so they couldn't do a landing on anywhere along the European coast, including Gibraltar. That allowed the Italians a chance to build up some units in Gibraltar for the first turn in the last 3, I think it is, that they've been attacking back and forth. So that's what happened there. Russia decided it was getting bored with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. It's still got a fairly substantial amount of units here. So it moved in. It didn't actually attack anything that was German on the land here. It just moved a pile of units in from here, from Kursk. It moved stuff from Moscow down into southern Ukraine, or eastern Ukraine, sorry, along with stuff from Stalingrad that moved into here. Built a bunch of tanks in these various locations, built some tanks up in Leningrad. It fought that coastal defense ship up there, and it convoy raided the Germans. Unfortunately, it failed. So that was the Russian turn. The Japanese, what did they really do? They tried to take a couple of these convoy submarines out and totally failed. Every single thing missed. So of course the subs submerged. And then on the American turn, we got 5 off of this line and 2 off of this line for a total of 7. So the Japanese lost these $7 out of their income. Japan's been trying to get radar and anti-submarine warfare for a while. It's just not seeming to work out for them. So we'll see what happens there. All right. Let's see what else happened. Well, the British convoyed them, obviously. Japanese had reinforced a couple of more guys in a Siam, but the British used their fighters that were in Calcutta, a stack of infantry and Gurkhas that were up here in, I just want to make sure I got the Burma. Some of these names have changed from the old game. And from British Malay, they sent a stack of infantry in there as well. And they annihilated the Japanese. Just like over here, the Japanese couldn't get a hit, and the British got way too many hits to be statistically normal in 2 different battles against the Japanese on the first round. We basically wiped them out in the first round. They had 2 units left out of the 9 they had to start after the first round. It was pretty redonkulous. So statistics are not in favor of Japan this game. So it seems like they need to have 4 times their number to win any fights. So we'll see what happens there. These fine Australian folks moved from here, where they built a militia, and they took over Java because it's a bonus for Japan. So the Dutch went up 2, the Dutch income, and the Japanese went down 4 because they lost its place that's worth 2 plus its bonus. So the British on this side are just spanking the Japanese around, and Japan has virtually no units left on the land. They've got 3 infantry here in Tonkin, which can be attacked from either Siam or from Burma. And that's the only thing holding off the British stacks here from moving into China. The Russians have not declared war with the Japanese, but should they decide to, there's not a lot of Japanese on the board here. There's 1 guy in Korea. We got 4 in a militia here in Rihe, and then over here in Xinjiang we got 3 infantry, and these 2 light tanks are trying to make it down here, but I don't think they're going to be successful before the British get down there. I don't know what to do with Japan here. It's going to be a rough go. So that's what they did there. I already detailed what the British did up there to get their eliminate that German Navy. Over here, the British have moved a tank into here so they can take this Italian location later on this turn. And they've successfully used the rail they built to rail a guy up here from the factory in South Africa. These 2 places were flukily taken by the Italians with bombardments. So that was handy. So Italy went up a couple bucks and brought the British down a couple. They reinforced Gibraltar. There's now 5-6 infantry in there, plus a militia, plus a German air transport, and a coastal gun. And it's a mountain city, so we'll see what happens there. What else do we have going on here? The Americans attacked Portugal. As a result, the Germans gained a few locations, but they're so far away they're not going to be able to keep them. So Portugal was taken. So the Germans get the Azores Islands, they get the Cape Verde Islands, they get Portuguese Guinea, they get Angola, they get Portuguese East Africa. They're not going to keep any of these. The British are probably going to take or the French are going to take them, or the Americans. I believe I did this correctly. I think that Japan gets the stuff on this half of the world. Same way that North America goes to the Americans, but everything else goes to the British. So I gave that to the Japanese, Portuguese East Timor. It doesn't really matter. It's not worth any money. And it could be around till it stays there. It could disappear in a turn. I don't know yet. But that's the grand scheme of things. The Americans lost all their fleet on this side. They had quite the fleet up here. Everything that started from the start of the build phase that was originally over here, a couple of battleships, a fleet carrier, a handful of cruisers and destroyers, and 3 transports, they lost them all. So we shall see. They did manage to reinforce the British Midlands a bit more here, so with Germany being at war with Russia now, there's a hope that some of these units are going to move that way instead of the Germans just building up piles and piles of units on the other side and leaving this stuff here. Last turn, Germany lost a pile of planes, so they anticipated losing a pile of planes in this attack, and they were right. So they built a bunch of fighters this turn, and that's pretty much all they built. Which might be why the Russians attacked them, because they saw a weakness. So that was basically the main gist of the turn here. I cannot remember exactly who went up and who went down for what. So we'll just check this out here. All right, the French are at 2, Dutch are at 4, thanks to the Australians. Vichy's still at 5. Australia is up to 8. Actually, they shouldn't be at 8. The Dutch are counting that money. Oh, man. So, Australia's at 7 because they took another Dutch thing last turn. All right, so that's why you double check this stuff. Italy went up to 10 because it took 2 places back from the Brits. So it used to be at 8. FEC took a place from Japan, or Siam, so it's now at 13. The British have lost a couple things to the Italians, so they're down to 26. But they got a commanding fleet in the Atlantic still, and that could change in a hurry. Japan's down to 40. They were up around 44 or 43 a turn or two ago, but yeah, 44. But the British are just nibbling away at the Money Islands and Siam now. Whew. 2 brutal turns where Japan attacked and just got diced in the first round twice. Two major battles down in the India location, or India and Siam. All right, the Germans are up to 53. They got into a couple from Portugal. They're probably not going to keep these, but and from Finland when the Russians attacked Germany, the Finnish aligned, so they gained 2 more from that. They probably won't keep them either. The Americans are up to 65 thanks to taking Portugal. It cost them $10, but they'll be able to establish a quick transport shuck that way, so they should aid them. From that location, they can attack a lot of places with transports, and I'm just going to show you what they can do here quickly. Actually, I'll show you the tech first here. So I'm just going to tell you, next turn is going to be July 44, so we've completed 16. The tech, it's been a while. It's taken me a couple days to roll this out. I've been a little bit busy. So let me just wander over there and give you a peek. All right, and there we go. All right, all the tech. So I don't think these have changed. This hasn't changed forever. Towns can't get it. Heavy armor and jets. I believe some of these have been worked on. I've got 3 stacks of 3 here where all the Axis own them. That was long-range aircraft, wartime economy, and improved construction. Improved construction, the only one that's not here is the French, and they can't roll tech right now. So basically everybody has improved construction. Wartime economy is everybody except for the Allies, although they finally managed to get some rolls on that. Heavy battleships, the Japanese did complete that, but I think they need some land forces a lot more than they need more Navy right now. Attack transports, the Germans, British, and Japanese have those. The Americans are slowly creeping their way up, but they've been having a few bad luck rolls. So yeah, that's basically essentially what's going on. Japan managed to get radar, failed at anti-submarine warfare. They really need to get these 2. They keep losing. They're bleeding money worse than the British ever did in this game. So we need to rectify that problem with Japan. Japan's also got an issue where it's got it doesn't have improved factories, so it's got a maximum capacity of 16 units a turn, not counting militia. So that's going to be rough. 15 in the island and 1 in Rihe. So. Oh man, I might have to build a factory in southern China. We'll see. We'll see. Japan's kind of getting their butt spanked with the rolling lately. So I'm just going to show you the reason why I took Portugal here. So don't mean to give you the shakes here. So all right. Now the reasoning for me taking Portugal is quite simple. This whole sea zone here is rather large. And from here, it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. So both of these major American ports with a lot of shipyard capacity. They got a lot of factory capacity here as well. Plus they can rail stuff down from here, so, or move it. So it'll be easy enough to establish a transport shuck from either one of these locations to here in Portugal. Now the nice thing about Portugal, if all they got to do is build a base there, and they do have improved construction, I think. Yeah, so they can force build a base in one turn here, just have any kind of blue naval base, and that'll give them the movement bonus, right? Or they could take this place from that might be smarter. They could just take this Leon Castile from the Spanish. That's another option, although that does give a bunch of extra units free to the Germans, so maybe that's not the smartest move. We'll see. But from here, they have a lot of options. With their movement bonus of 1, once they build a base here, they can go 1, 2, 3, and they can hit the Suez Canal. They can go 1, 2, 3 and hit Rome, northern Italy, Vichy, France, or 2, 3, and they can hit all of Greece, right? So they got a lot of options. They can't hit this zone over here with their transports, but if they're hitting on this side, they can just land here and maybe let the Russians take that half while they annihilate this half. That's the hope anyway. But they seriously got their Navy handicapped on this side of the world, and all they've got is these 4 destroyers, 5 at home here in New York, and these 2 coastal subs, 2 transports, 2 transports, and 2 transports at home. So they got a total of 6 transports. So once we establish this transport shuck, it'll be possible to deliver 3 a turn and have 3 come back, and maybe build a couple more transports eventually. That way we can have 6 transports here to drop off 12 units somewhere else, right? Oh, I should take off my unfortunately removed individuals. All right, so that's the reasoning, the rationale behind Portugal. It used to have a blue naval base in here, but this is a new game with new bases. So they do have a shipyard here, and they have improved construction. So if they build a factory here, they can place some ships here as well. That might be handy. Not capitals, of course, but any other ship. All right, so that is the whole turn summary. That would be January 44, turn 16 completed. I will see you next turn for turn 17, July 44. I'm not sure what's going to happen, because I try to play each nation as though, okay, look, this is me. If this was me, what's my best move here, right? Completely independent. And then I go to the next one and go, okay, well, what's my best move? Which is why I surprised myself by going, well, Russia would be an idiot not to attack Germany after Germany just did what it did, which would have been an idiot not to do, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. So I have all the battles rolled out on a supplemental video that will be coming out later, and it's probably going to be called Turn 16 Additional Info or something along that line. I can't remember what I've been calling them. Anyway, see you later. Hopefully enjoy and have fun with your games.